I said, relax, I wouldn't have done it if I wasn't in this car. Yeah, wrong answer. How y'all doing? I'm Big Al, and welcome to my studio again. If you're new to the channel, please take a moment to subscribe and maybe throw a like in there. So yesterday was Father's Day, and I want to wish a very happy Father's Day belated to all the dads out there. And I wanted to talk a bit about the best piece of car-related advice my father ever gave me. It was my father who taught me how to work on cars and got me interested in them, especially Corvairs. He was a big Corvair enthusiast back in the 70s. My father was not a professional mechanic. He was a high school teacher. But he knew how to work on cars. And the best piece of advice he gave me was right after he helped me purchase my first car. I afforded it with inheritance from my grandmother. It was a 1993 Toyota Camry. It had 113,000 miles on it. I'll throw a picture up here. The best piece of advice he gave me about cars in general was this. A car that is paid off and running reliably is putting money in your pocket. That a car is a depreciating asset. And the longer you keep it, the better off you are. That was a piece of advice I really kind of took to heart, still take to heart, as evidenced by the fact that my 2009 Corolla is still on the road and kicking with 245,000 miles on the clock, and the way the car market is, I don't think situation is going to change much. I think that advice he gave me is especially prudent in today's car market, where the prices are just so out of control. I've been trying to wait out the market for a while, and prices are finally starting to come down, so I may be looking into a Corolla replacement soon. I don't need the thing blowing up on me. But yeah, my dad gave me this advice, and I've been taking it to heart ever since. You don't need to have well, at least not me, personally. I am not the kind of person who needs to have every single bell and whistle on a car. As long as it gets me from point A to point B reliably and safely, that's pretty much all I care about. Basic transportation. I mean, the Corvair, yeah, that's my fun car, but that's another matter altogether. But my father, teaching me how to work on cars, I can't calculate how much money that has saved me over the past years when I was a kid, even in middle school. He would be doing maybe an oil change or doing the brakes. I'd go out to the garage and I'd help him. He'd say, get me XYZ tool, or get me this, or hand me paper towels, hold the flashlight. Then he'd explain to me what we were doing, why we were doing it, and when I got my own car, my first car, I wasn't lucky enough to have YouTube. My dad handed me a Haynes manual and said, where the tools are, let me know if you need a hand. Thank God it was a Toyota, and it was a very reliable car that almost never gave me an ounce of trouble. But all that knowledge has come to serve me well now, because I get to work on all three of my cars and fix them for free. Yeah, my dad was not above having fun in cars. He did drive a 97 Mitsubishi Eclipse. It wasn't a GSX or anything crazy. It was just a GS with basically the Dodge Neon motor in it. It was a convertible, which I thought was kind of cool. I actually learned to drive on that a little bit before I got the Camry and took my road test in it. And one day I whipped the thing into the subdivision, driving it home from school. And my dad looked at me, what are you doing? You're coming in way too fast. I said, relax, I wouldn't have done it if I wasn't in this car. Yeah, wrong answer. That was the last time I drove the Eclipse for a while, and I was back to my mom's minivan. Me and my big mouth. But then after I got my license a couple years later, he was wiping the Eclipse down and wanted to take it for a spin. So I take it around the neighborhood. And our neighborhood, the road layout looked like a letter D. There was one road that came in off the main road, looped around and came out another entrance, and then another road that connected the two ends of the loop. So I came out the far exit, turning onto Ridge Road in Shoreham, New York. It's one of the few things I miss about my hometown. There were a lot of fun, twisty roads where you could have fun in a powerful car. My dad looks at me, goes, "Turn the overdrive off." Fortunately, the car was an automatic, deference to my mother. When it was clear, he says, "Okay, hammer it." And I hammered it, stuck the gas pedal to the floor, car reared back, threw me into the seat, and I was probably up to about 80 miles an hour in a 30-mile zone. I can tell this now that the statute of limitations has long since retired. That was hilarious that my father is telling me to do this, and that was fun. I've been going fast in cars ever since. You know, my Camry may not have been a sports car, but that didn't stop me from driving it like one. So, what important advice did your father give to you about cars or life in general? Let me know in the comments below, and I will catch you on the next installment.